If any man come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. So salvation was not just an event. It was intended to be part of our everyday life, where we deny ourselves and make a decision to follow him. That's what the next verse of Colossians chapter 2 verse 7 says, when he said, being rooted and built up in him and established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. He teaches us in these two verses that we're to walk in him. Listen, just because you're saved don't mean you're walking in him. It may mean you're saved, but it don't mean you're walking in him. That is a daily choice. That's why Jesus taught things like put your hand to the plow and never look back. And we're all wanting God to move in our life. Everybody wants God to be the wonderful God that they rub the bottle of prayer and God miraculously shows up and gives us everything we want.
Jesus began his day alone with God. How many times have I mentioned that to you about starting the day with prayer and getting alone, having a quiet time? If you're going to be a follower of Jesus, a follower does what the leader does, right? Well, somebody says, well, I pray. How often do you pray? Well, once in a while. No. If you're really a follower of Jesus, prayer is a major part of your life. In fact, how do you start the day off living in this world without talking to God?
Well, that's not how the scriptures teach God, nor is it how the Holy Spirit reveals God. God is more than a wish list. God is more than just someone that just is going to do what you want him to do anytime you want him to do it, just because you wanted him to do it. God intended for us to be walking in communion and relationship with him. And that's why I think sometimes when people come to me and they say, well, I got problems in my marriage, Pastor. I got struggles that are going on in my home. I'm having problems at my workplace. I'm struggling with my temper. I'm struggling with pornography, or I'm struggling with drug addiction or alcoholism. People come to pastors for all kinds of problems. And when you begin to ask them, well, how's your relationship with God? They get defensive because they don't understand your relationship with God is what absolutely determines your morality.
Jesus, he demonstrates for us that to be stirrers of revival, that even when the whole city is at our door, when there's a need at church, there's a need at work, there's a need with this group of friends, there's a need even over here, everywhere, people are pulling at us and tugging at us, and our schedules are busy and full and replete with things to do. Put first things first so that we build margin into our lives, so that early in the morning, if that's the best time for you, what that symbolizes is priority.
Your temperament is what determines your ability to say no to sinful addictions and to sinful things. It's what empowers us and strengthens us and enables us to be able to live a life that honors and pleases God. And the stronger we are in our relationship with God and the influence of the Holy Spirit, the stronger we are to be able to build healthy marriages and strong homes, and to be able to overcome addictions and strongholds and sinful desires. That's how we overcome the desires of the flesh. That's how we conquer lust in our lives. That's how people get free from pornography. It's how they get free from drug addiction, alcoholism, sexual immorality of every kind. It's how they settle the issue of sexual confusion. It's by entering into intimacy and close relationship with God.
So you won't be tempted to role play before God. You're not going to try to put on airs or impress anybody. He says, just be there as simply and honestly as you can manage. And the focus will shift from you to God, and you will begin to sense His grace. Start with just a moment of prayer. A simple moment that says, Lord, here I am. I'm ready. I want to hear from you today. Would you just open my eyes, open my ears, open my heart to whatever it is you want to say?